This is video number 3. This is a very short video on how to attach a 2 1/4 inch back leg to the inside part of the frame. Here you got a finished frame here. Looking from the bottom, you got the sill, the 3-track sill. You got the jambs, the head on top, and the other jamb. And we are looking at the frame from the interior point of view. The interior has a 2-part sill track, and the exterior has the 1-track sill extension. Typically, the 2-inch back leg is an option. It's not sold on every door. So a lot of these doors will be sold with a flush sill like this. In some instances, the customer wants a 2 1/4 inch back leg on the interior for increased water performance. This back leg is supplied as an option, and when it does, it's going to be sold loose, and it's going to be installed in the field after the frame is already installed in the opening, level, square, plumb, and everything. So the back leg gets put in after the frame is installed, not before. Also, these holes will not appear on a typical frame. These are already done from our sample, but these holes will be drilled in the field with Tek screws to attach the 2 1/4 inch back leg, okay? The first thing we do, we look at the 2 1/4 inch back leg, the contour. You'll see it this way. The weather strip is on the top. You have a fin here, and when it gets attached, it goes this way. So before we attach it, we want to put silicone in the red X here on both ends. And then if you notice at the bottom, there's a groove here at the extrusion, like a little groove where the red line is, a thin bead of cork along the entire groove as such. And then you notice here another red dotted line from the upstanding leg here, away from the weather strip on this side, a 1/4 inch away from this vertical leg. There's a red dotted line with another bead of cork along the red dotted line here, all the way across the length of the back leg as such, so you can see it. Okay, so there's going to be caulking on both ends of this flat milled out section. There's going to be caulking along the solid red line where it has the groove of the extrusion. As you can see here, the extrusion has a groove here, like a little dip, and inside there's a red line along the entire, hold this Victor, the entire solid red line. There'll be a bead of caulk. And then to the inside that vertical wall where there's a red dot, dashed lines, 1/4 inch away from this wall, another bead of caulk. Once you have caulk all along, you're going to also do one more thing. You're going to put a little bead of caulk at the extension of the end dam here and extension of the end dam here, and then you're going to go ahead and mount the back leg to the frame. So once it's got all the caulk, it's going to go in here as such, and there are going to be pre-drilled holes on the actual back leg, and we're going to use what kind of screws?
Number 8 Tek.
Number 8 Tek flatheads. The hole's already countersunk on the back leg extension, and they're Tek, so they're going to go right through the pre-drilled hole on the back leg and make a hole in the sill itself. And then what we want to do, we want to apply a bead of caulk here at the inside where the back leg goes all the way up and hits the jamb on this side. On both sides of the interior back leg, we want to put a little caulk here and up and over. Then on the outside, you want a little caulk where this gap here, fill up this gap all the way here and around on that side. And on the other side, on the outside of the back leg, the same thing. That little gap here has to be filled in with caulk all the way around, fill in that void here and up to here. And now this thing is totally waterproof. Another option that we also furnish, which you can use before the frame is installed, is a sub-sill. It's an L-shaped sub-sill. That's typically put into the frame, into the opening before the frame is installed. We're showing it afterwards, but we just want to show that's an option. It's a extruded aluminum sub-sill, and it typically goes in the opening before the frame goes into the opening. So this would have actually gone in before the frame will be installed and before the back leg would be installed. But it's not always provided. It's an upcharge, it's an extra, and if customers want it, they can do it. When you put this back in here, typically what a lot of customers do, they'll take some flash and they'll take an angle and they'll attach an end dam, an L-shaped end dam to the subsill on both sides, so that the subsill is also dammed. What the subsill does is it provides a secondary barrier of water protection. Should anything in the frame fail and water get through the frame, it won't get through the subsill. Move that out a second. Before you put the frame in the subsill, you apply a heel bead of caulk along the whole length of the heel of the up leg of the subsill here, a nice bead of caulk, so that when the frame goes in, it compresses and makes a nice caulking connection to the subsill so nothing can get underneath. And again, we can use a 1x1 or 2x2 angle at either end of the subsill and gets caulked into place, cut to the same depth as the subsill, so it stands out and creates like a back leg or an end dam on either side of the subsill. Basically, the concept would be would be any kind of like a little back leg, like a little, any angle, and then you would caulk this into place here, put an angle here, very thin metal, so no water can get through. It'll be the same height as the back leg of the subsill. Again, those are all things that are done in the field by the installer if they choose to do this. Okay, and that's the end of our frame video. And so at the end, this is a picture of our frame from the inside looking in, sitting on top of subsill, and this from the outside view.
Sliding jam possible.
And if you also notice that the sliding jamb, or the jamb that accepts the locking panel, has a latch hole and latch hole cover, so that when the sliding panel engages the jamb, the lock of our 1850 1950 lock can engage into the hole. Okay, and then we'll go to the next videos to show how the panels are actually loaded onto the frames. But this is pretty much concludes the frame installation part of the 5520.